Welcome to The Explainer. So, up in Northern California, a special election for Congress is really starting to heat up. And one of the candidates? Well, he's running on an idea so radical, it could literally redraw the map of the United States.
So what's this all about? Well, after the unexpected passing of Congressman Doug LaMalfa, there's a pretty significant power vacuum in California's 1st District. A special election is now underway to fill that seat, and believe me, the outcome could have major implications for this unique part of the state.
And into that vacuum, a leading contender has really stepped up, Assemblyman James Gallagher. To really get a handle on his campaign, we need to understand the man himself, his deep roots in the region, his political rise, and the one big idea that could change California forever.
So let's start there. To really get a feel for this candidate, you have to look at his connection to the region he wants to represent. It goes deep.
Look at this. Gallagher's life is just completely woven into the fabric of Northern California. We're talking a 5th-generation farmer. His grandfather was in local politics. He even built his law career serving the local ag community. You know, this isn't just some political resume. It's a life story that's completely rooted in the North State.
Okay, so how does a background like that translate into a political career? Well, his path started right there in local government. And let me tell you, it quickly led him straight to the state capitol.
And what's really interesting is that his path is almost a mirror image of his mentors, the late Doug LaMalfa. He started local on the Sutter County Board of Supervisors before making the jump to the state assembly. And he didn't just sit on the back benches either. He rose through the ranks, eventually becoming the Assembly Minority Leader. That's the top spot for his party.
And while he was in Sacramento, his legislative focus was pretty clear. He zeroed in on the issues that are absolutely critical to rural communities. Things like disaster recovery after those horrible events like the Camp Fire, public safety, and just securing basic resources, like safe drinking water for smaller towns.
But there is one thing, one proposal that truly sets his candidacy apart from everyone else. It's a really bold, some might even say controversial idea that gets right to the very heart of California's identity. Yep, you're seeing that right. Gallagher has actually introduced a bill that would kickstart the process of splitting California into new separate states. Now this idea, it's not totally new, but he's one of the most prominent modern politicians to really champion it. So what's the logic here? Well, the core argument is that a state with nearly 40 million people, stretching all the way from the Oregon border down to Mexico, it's too big. It's too diverse to be governed effectively by one central body down in Sacramento. The whole goal is to bring government closer to the people.
And as you can probably guess, this has kicked off a huge debate. On one side, supporters see a path to a government that's more responsive, more localized, and better serves all these diverse communities. But the critics, they point to just enormous political and economic hurdles, basically calling the whole thing impractical and divisive.
Okay, so the big question is, how does this really ambitious, kind of out there idea fit into his current campaign for Congress?
Well, while the state split is definitely his most ambitious idea, it's the big headline grabber, Gallagher's day-to-day campaign platform is actually focused on these core issues. He's really leveraging his legislative record to appeal directly to voters' more immediate concerns. But here's the thing. A huge part of his strategy isn't just about his own record. It's about connecting himself to the person who held this very seat for over a decade. And this is a big one. Getting the endorsement of the LaMalfa family is a massive boost for him. It sends this really powerful signal to voters that he's the one. He's the chosen successor to continue the late congressman's work and legacy in the district. And just to add to that momentum, he also landed the endorsement of former President Donald Trump. This kind of high-profile backing really solidifies his position as a frontrunner and helps rally the party's base right behind his candidacy. So as this election gets closer, the voters in California's 1st District, they have a real choice to make. It's not just about who's going to represent them in Washington. It's really about what kind of future they envision for their communities. And yeah, maybe for the entire state of California itself.